Did you know that China came to Nashville to save music history?
This is amazing.
I decided one day that my retirement would be about preserving music history. When it hit me, I realized, having grown up in Japan, I was walking in a foreign land. I had a wonderful friend named Marty Shee, and a very successful entrepreneur, and we hit up a friendship, and we were both visionaries. And we both decided we weren't going to sit around for our retirement. We wanted to do something. When I shared my vision, immediately he joined me in this journey. It started at Johnny Cash's farm in Bonacqua, Tennessee, the place Johnny Cash owned for over 30 years, his special place. He called it the center of his universe. And we both agreed his music, his message was the kind of thing we wanted to promote. So we started to roll up our sleeves and beautify the farm that was in disrepair. We spent a whole year restoring the 1837 log home that Johnny Cash loved. The ground broke open and music poured out of the ground. A mile down the road, we discovered a beaten up building on the verge of collapse. And to my surprise, I found out that was where Johnny Cash would perform for the locals, for the community. He wrote a song called Saturday Night at Hickman County, and people packed that place. Two of Johnny's daughters, it was the first place they ever sang on a stage. I looked at Marty, and we knew what we had to do. We had to preserve this historic property. We knew it was important because we found a tape on Johnny's farm of a 20-year in the music business celebration party of Johnny Cash. Carl Perkins gives one of the most beautiful tributes to Johnny Cash you'll ever hear. Maybelle Carter performs there. June Carter. It had to be saved. It couldn't have been done without my good partner, Chinese ancestry, an American citizen, Marty Shee. One day, my wife and I were at a restaurant, and there was a newspaper open. It had an article about how the citizens of Madison were upset that the famous international headquarters of Elvis Presley Enterprise, and just behind it, the original fan club building dating back to 1956, were going to be destroyed to make a car wash. The owner had done everything in his power to sell it to those interested in music history. He reached a point where there was no interest, so he sold it. Well, we worked out an arrangement that allowed us to be there for 3 months to take this music history, 2 buildings, piece by piece, over 50 tons, and we moved it to Johnny's farm. I don't want to speak ill of people, but many people thought I had finally gone mad. Fortunately, my good friend Marty, who I couldn't have done it without, he too saw the world upside down, and he never questioned for a moment that this is something we needed to do, even though it was a distraction, and moved our focus from Johnny Cash to Elvis Presley. The very moment the contract was signed in late October 1990, the Graceland management staff immediately organized a trip to Madison, Tennessee for the next day to take possession of the collection and bring it home. No one wanted to give the press and the public time to find out about the deal until the collection had been safely transported to Memphis and securely stored, followed by a formal press release. About a dozen Graceland staffers and a sizable crew from Atlas Van Lines arrived ready to wrap, pack, label, load, and move the collection. It was all very hush-hush.
Welcome to Colonel Tom Parker's home and office right here in Madison, Tennessee. The office was here, the Colonel lived here, Elvis lived here for a period of time, and whenever Elvis was in town, this is where he stayed.
We have a picture of Elvis sitting right there with Colonel Parker.
In 1954,
Yes.
this is when I met Elvis Presley.
And he's the only living member of Johnny Cash's band. So we literally take panels off, we number them, and so that we can reconfigure all of this. Like for instance, that closet was where they kept a lot of his clothes. This is where Colonel Parker hung all the records, and I have a video footage of all the records hanging up here. See all the marks up here? So at one point, everything that related to Elvis was here and in that building. All that was here until Colonel Parker sold it to Graceland. So this is historically, this is where it all happened, right here.
It was the original Elvis Presley fan club was here. Every fan letter Elvis Presley ever received was right here in this little building.
We can replicate this whole exactly the way it was. We don't know what we're doing, but we're
Doing something.
We're doing something before it's too late. That 50 tons sits at the farm today. So we took down pretty much every board and numbered them so that we could put it back together. And the fan club was formed in 1956, okay? And that predates Graceland because Graceland wasn't purchased in 1957. Now over here are the gates, okay? So when Elvis would go and visit the Colonel in 1956, he'd go through those gates. Those gates predate the gates of Graceland. These are the tiles, the fireplace, mantle, security doors, phone system, entryway, closet in which hung the gold lame outfit, probably the most famous outfit in the world. Most people thought it had been lost, but it was in this closet for over 30 years. It's a part of the bar. So if your grandma or mother sent Elvis a letter or whatever they may have sent, it had been sorted on this table. Those are the floors. That 50 tons sits at the farm today. he and I dreamt about maybe this could be moved to Memphis, or maybe this fan club building could be moved to Japan or to China or to London. And maybe it could go home to Madison or to Nashville. That would be the finale of our work together. Not only preserving, but rebuilding that original fan club building. I miss Marty because in June of this year, suddenly my good friend and my partner passed away. Suddenly. Sadness, life's meaninglessness. Life is like a vapor, just lives leave. But then now what I'm thinking is, okay, Marty, I gotta finish the task.
You can never come back down.
We gotta build this. And maybe the place to build it is China. It couldn't have happened without his financial commitments as well as his absolute enthusiasm for doing things that don't necessarily guarantee profits. That's my friend Marty. And the irony is to do all this restoration, it took a man from China. I hope that we'll build a bridge, a monster bridge between Nashville and China. A bridge that brings people together. I know there's all this conflict. We can do better. And maybe music. I believe God created music. Do you know that almost half the Bible is poetry and music? Now do you see how important China was to preserving music history? The original Elvis Presley fan club. And then Johnny's Farm. And then down the road, that little studio where he would reach out to the locals and share music. Marty helped us preserve that. China helped us save those historic buildings.
What is truth? Have you learned? The forest is on fire. You can never come back down. Bluebird, where are you going? Floating away on the lies you sang to me. But the truth hurts when you crash through the window, and there's no one left to fix your broken wings. Bluebird, where are you? Have you heard? The forest is on fire. And you can never come back home. Bluebird, what is true?
Concluded this looks like a submarine.
And I conclude it's a nuclear submarine.
And Marty thinks it's a nuclear submarine. Here, that's my gift to you. For all your investment, this is your return.
Okay.